Hi everyone, I'm just waiting on people to arrive. G'day, just waiting for more people to come on board and we'll start in a few minutes. Hello, welcome. Just going to start soon. Probably in about 5 minutes and just waiting for more people to come on board. Okay, so I thought we'd get started in a couple of minutes. So is everything, not sure if you could give some feedback to make sure that you can hear me okay? Yep. All right, we'll get started soon. Good stuff. Okay. So is there a way that you guys can just send me a quick message, just make sure you can hear me okay? Good stuff. Anyway, how about I get started? And firstly, welcome everyone. I'd just like to introduce myself. I'm Tristan Lovell. I've been entrepreneur, a small business owner since 2004, and I left my job at Deloitte and started my own business. Since then, I've been learning heaps about business, and fantastic. Yeah, I just got a message saying you could hear it. Excellent. Yeah, so I'm here today to present what it takes to really run a successful Facebook campaign. And I hope that some of you have tried or motivated. You've heard stories on the people who've had great success in running Facebook campaigns, because it certainly make a difference. So Facebook, it's only been quite recently you can actually run highly targeted campaigns, and it really has certainly changed the game. And it's a new form of native advertising, and it's very measurable. So native advertising is in the realm of, for example, it's integrated advertising that's integrated within a news feed or search results, which looks like it's supposed to be there, but it's paid to have presence. And it relies on really good copy or images to actually get click through to either web page or landing page to generate leads. So who am I? Just to give you a brief rundown, I left Deloitte 2004, where I was a consultant in corporate. I started Splash Displays. It grew to be a national digital display company, which I achieved with my team around $9 million worth of sales and learned a whole heap of lessons. So I certainly know what it means to spend heaps of money on advertising and not get return. And I've certainly experienced where I've really got things right to grow the business. So after selling that in 2012, I've committed myself to learning how to generate leads in a very cost-effective way, because I could see that that is really the essence of growing a successful business. And I want to teach people all these lessons I've learned from all the campaigns that I've been running the past 6 months. I want to teach as many people as possible, from all the mistakes I've made and all the wins that I've had. So what is native advertising? This is what's coming up. Just briefly in the next 25 minutes, I'll cover as much as possible. So what's the deal with Facebook advertising? I've got a 6-step process that you can follow. Show you what this concept of Facebook Blackjack is, and hopefully look at some of the questions that are being placed in the meetup group feed. So we've got some events coming up as well. So this is my attempt at humor, native advertising. So I'll show you an example shortly of really what that is. The first form of native advertising came about when Google decided to put priority adverts in the feed. So these ads here, as you've all seen and probably invested in, some very heavily, to look like it's supposed to be there, but it's really paid to be there. So here's an example of in my news feed. So this is scrolling down my news feed. This just shows you the process. So in the middle here, something might have caught my eye, and this person's entered the conversation within my head that, look, I want to build a funnel. So I might click on this advert, and it's promising to solve a problem that I have, and it's taken me to a landing page. And that pure purpose of this simple landing page is to just give me enough to tease me to enter my email address. And once I've entered my email address, it'll take me through to a sales page whereby they've got a video to upsell me. Okay, so this is a typical, what you might say, the beginning of a funnel, whereby it's capturing my attention, it's getting my details, and then trying to sell me more and capture like my phone number or even make a sale. So this is how it really works. And this is just one type of campaign. This is a campaign that I'm using to generate hundreds of leads for my clients. And it's and just to summarize what we just saw, the whole process, you've got a Facebook post with an image that captures your attention. So while people are scrolling down, you need something which really grabs their attention and compels them to click on it, because you're promising to solve a problem for them. For this one, it's for a mortgage broker. I don't know if you could read that, but it says, got a mortgage, so it's good to ask a question. Here's how to claw back dollars. So we're promising to solve that problem, and it goes to a landing page whereby people would opt in. And again, as you can see, it's very simple. It's not elaborate. And you know, what I've found is usually it's the simpler the better. It gets great results. And you've got to have a magnet. So there's a concept of a magnet. It could be a video that they can watch to solve a problem, or a free report, or a checklist. So you have something which people would gladly provide you with their name and email address to download. And the whole purpose of that is you're adding value. It's all about helpful marketing. And by doing that also, you're actually almost pre-qualifying them to be your client. So you're helping them, getting to know you, and to trust you as well. So after they've actually gone and entered their details here, you also go to a sales opt-in page whereby the people who are really hot and have, you know, more urgency around solving their problem, they would actually push that button and enter their email address and also phone number. And everyone by default would go into your email database, which could be Aweber, Infusionsoft, or even MailChimp, whichever. So you're constantly feeding people into your database and growing that database. And I think you've all heard that that is really the heart of, you know, the growth of businesses, is as to really have that email database which you could sell to. So here's some interesting statistics. Look, just show you some opportunities. Maybe you guys know how to find all this out, but I've got the next slide. I'll show you a bit more about how to do that. But here's one really important side of Facebook advertising, is really understanding your target market. And there's literally millions of people that you can put a message in front of, but how you put that message in front of these people is really, you know, part of the art of getting it right. So just for example, you can probably read through this. There's 12 million people aged 20 plus, so probably a key market for most people in Australia. 3 million Victoria, and if you're targeting small business owners, one little known fact is that it's actually quite easy to, if you've got a B2B solution, to target these small business owners out there. On the right-hand side, we've got targeting options. So you can target by location, demographics, so whether they're married, whether they're parents. It's really powerful. And interest is where you put most of the work. Once you've got the basic location demographics down, interest is where you put in the, you know, what pages would people like? Like, would they like the blog? Do they like, you could even put in, you know, target people who like your competitors, or even, you know, this is really helpful, the ads manager or power editor, to target those people. You also target on behaviors, like if they travel a lot and so forth. But where you really want to get to later, and it's a little bit more advanced, is custom email lists. If you've got a sizable email list, you can actually put message in front of specific people, and that's really cost effective, because it all, you know, usually they've already been warmed up. So here's a bit of a targeting example, just to give you a bit of insight into you know, a simple targeting. So you might want to be targeting Melbourne plus 25 miles, and you can see at each point the number of people that you're targeting, how many people are in that bucket. You know, so the main things, look, definitely have a tight age range, because the key is to have a message which really connects with the people on the other end. So usually I would split it up in within 10 years. So you might want to say, run a campaign between 30 to 40, and then run another campaign, probably with the same message, to 40 to 50, to see which age range connects. And again, I actually run a lot of successful campaigns to women because they're more engaged in Facebook. So here I'm targeting married, everyone that's married, engaged, open relationship, and with the interests, there's broad interests. And this is what I'm just showing you now, that you can actually just say, okay, well, let's target people who are really interested in pages which are related to fitness and wellness. So as you can see, it's down to 240,000 people. You can also, if you're a travel agent, you might want to, all frequent travelers. So again, it's down to 88,000 people. So this is how powerful it is. So you can target a campaign specifically to these people. And again, just to show you again, you can actually say Melbourne plus 50 miles. So that's how you can really target an area very effectively. So at the end, we've got 94,000 people to target, and that's a big audience. I'd prefer probably to work with 40,000 or 30,000 people, but it depends on how targeted you are. Right. So just quickly, who's doing this? The people are spending money on Facebook advertising and getting results. Small high profit items, like high volume, like t-shirts, ebooks, so low cost but high profit. Education and training coaching companies. You may be, no doubt all of you, if you're interested in this space, you're probably seeing, sponsored posts from Ryan Dice, or Digital Marketer, or all sorts of those sorts of companies. People selling stuff for Amazon. Automotive, I don't see many automotive stuff, but apparently they spend big dollars on Facebook advertising. Software solutions and banks. Yeah. So they're the people who are getting great results. So I see Facebook as just one of those tools that you can use to really grow your business, but in a very smart and lean way. And I think especially there's been a surge of knowledge sharing about the lean business methodology and the business canvas. So in a way, I approach Facebook in the same sort of way, whereby iterating, you're learning, and you find that sweet spot that works, and then you scale. Okay, so you're always testing, learning, and scaling. So that's the beauty of this, and this is why I love it so much, is that you can really target and you can measure, and everything's fully accountable. So I'll show you some examples later, whereby what I've actually done an optimization process. So part of it is really going through an optimization process, which there's so many Facebook advertising courses out there. They really don't show you this very key process, which I'd like to share with you today. So hopefully some of you have actually run some campaigns and learn some lessons. Maybe you spent $100, maybe $500, and maybe you see, okay, initially maybe you see that there's low click-through. So when heaps of people, you see like thousands of people looking at your ad, but none of them are clicking on it. So once you get that right with an image and copy, which actually engages with people, the next thing is, okay, well, targeting. If that's also targeting, actually it contributes to how many people click on your ad, of course. So if you're running an ad for how to save thousands of dollars to a whole to people who don't need to save thousands of dollars, or you're not going to connect with them. So poor targeting is also applicable to your opt-ins on page conversions. So people are clicking through to your landing page or your website. If they don't see exactly what they're expecting or follow through on the promise, then you're not going to get your opt-ins, and you're going to be paying heaps of money to Facebook for clicks, but it's not going to yield into an actual lead conversion, a result. The other side of things, which not many people really talk about, is once you've got the emails or phone numbers, what's the follow-up? So it could be that you're paying, you might be, like I'm generating 30 to 50 emails a day for certain clients. If you don't have something like a funnel email sequence to put them into, then you're really going to lose out on probably 60% of your sales through all this effort and energy you're investing into Facebook marketing. So I come up with this concept of Facebook Blackjack. So I don't know if many of you know much about Blackjack, but Blackjack it's an interesting game whereby if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't have a really methodical process to play Blackjack, it might be a bit of fun to begin with, but you can certainly blow a lot of money. But those in the know who have a system and know how to work it, and they follow a certain way of betting, they actually can come out in front. And there's this way of building a positive expectancy model whereby if you put in $1, you're almost guaranteed to get $1.50 out, for example. And how do you do that? So I worked out a way of doing that with Facebook advertising. So whereby you know how to play, you follow a proven system, you know your numbers, and you're constantly learn, testing, and evolving. And that is imperative. So this is what I want to teach people, how to actually create what I call a lead tap, whereby you turn on a campaign, you've already gone through various iterations of testing, and you know that you're going to get a return on the money that you're putting in. So how do you get started on ending up at this space? Because this is a great space to be. And it's very rewarding and very lucrative. So what I have is, to get you started, is these 6 steps to launch your first successful Facebook campaign. And this is the core of the courses that I teach and work with people on. So I know this is a lot with Google Hangout. You actually can't do the animations, which is a shame. But if we focus on the left, so working from the left to the right, first of all, it's really understanding your niche and your unique value proposition and how that relates to your target audience. So I have a process of identifying your ideal customer, so profiling your ideal customer, and just going back to the example before, it could be women aged, a 35-year-old female who really values fitness, goes to the gym a lot, and is frustrated with how she can't afford to go traveling. She really wants a lifestyle, and if you've got a solution to show her how to have really cost-effective, affordable travel options. You could be a travel agent. You could be selling a whole range of health products to those people as well. So if you've got health products, you can really zone in on exactly what their motivations, what their issues are. So being clear on how you solve people's problems and where to find them is really important to start off with. Then the next step is to create a magnet. So once you really understand what your key target audience's problems are and what their motivations are and what keeps them up at night, create a magnet, which could be either a free report, or it could be a checklist, or even a video or a screen. Record something on your screen. Like if you've got a software solution, or you want to show people how to solve certain issues, with their computers or anything like that, you can actually just record, lessons on how to solve these problems. So I work with people actually create create these magnets which hit the mark, which people are compelled to download and opt in. So once you actually have that, you actually have all you need to easily step into the next phase, which is actually building your opt-in pages. And there's some great tools out there to make it easy for you, like leadpages.net. I'd encourage you, if you haven't taken a look at that, that is by far the easiest way to build landing pages, which are templated. You just click and change the text, change the images, and you can even send automatically the lead magnet, upload your free report or whatever it is, your link, to these people as they opt in. So that's really done for you, and that's an easy way to do it. So once you've got that side of the process, you have the creating the ads. So there's a whole process in itself to create the ads which get clicks. And I'm going to do another webinar on that, and even actually might record a video and share it with you guys on how to create an emotional post which stands out. So as you saw before, and I guess you see them all in your own news feeds, you really have to grab their attention, and there's all sorts of tactics to do that. I'm about to share with you one that I've done for a client, which is very effective. But so if for example, if you're targeting women of age 40 to 49, for example, I put in a picture of a cute baby which is frustrated and looks like it really needs help, and that has gotten great results. So that's just one example of creating emotion. The image is so important, and then you've got the headline, which is the bold lettering just underneath, and then you have the other copy at the top. So really just you need to test and find out what ads work, what ads don't, and you just do that by running it overnight at a peak time, or over the weekend, and you see how that works. So once you've got your ads, you've got to make sure that you put them in front of the right people. So like what I showed you covered earlier, is targeting and promoting according to these, what I call levers that you have to pull. And again, test different age ranges. You can even test male or female, because usually the way you're selling to females, it can be very different to the way you sell to males. So I'd be very targeted and really think about how you get to those people. And then we have the follow-up sequence, which most people actually ignore. And what I encourage, there's like one way of creating a follow-up sequence is Aweber. So if you go to Aweber, that's a great solution which you can use to do a cost-effective email follow-up, whereby, and I'll cover that a bit later on, whereby you have a welcome email and then another email saying, you know, just all centered around value-based problem-solving marketing. So I call it helpful marketing. So you're not really selling in a way. You're showing different angles of how to solve their problem, like show that you're there for them and that you can really connect and build trust with them. So just to elaborate a little bit further on a really important factor, have a think about what is the biggest problem in your target audience's head. Okay, so in the meetup, in the questions on the meetup, I think it was someone's had a question about, okay, well, how do I attract their attention? How do I really sell to these people? Like, this is the way you do that. So you find the segments that are most profitable through testing. You split based on demographics, and you tune your marketing to the conversation that is going on in your ideal customer's head, and you connect that to the problem that you solve. So effectively, this is, in essence, is what we're building is a funnel. And you've all heard of the funnel, and this, what I'm outlining and what I love helping people build is a funnel which meets people where they're at. So at the top end, you're meeting them on their Facebook page, whereby they're not thinking about your business at all. All they're thinking about is what's going on in their lives, and you're interrupting that. You're earning the right for them. Oh, hang on, that looks good. I'm gonna find out more about that. And then you're going to guide them through this reasonably drawn out process, it might seem, to build trust from feeling very cold about your business and not knowing anything about you to almost falling in love with what you have to offer, because you're talking their language. You're meeting them where they're at every stage, and you're giving them little tips, little valuable checklists, little, like about to create for a client a spreadsheet, which is a bit of a calculator, which helps them find out, okay, at their business, how much opportunity are they missing out on with their sales by not having an online presence. So let's get to something that hopefully you'd be very interested in, is just a real overview of what a mortgage broker I've been working with. So I worked with him on validating that women in Perth who have a family that would be interested in refinancing and reducing their mortgage repayments. So this is a campaign I ran. It's still running now, and it's doing really well. So going back to this diagram here. So what we have is we've got the post. Again, that's what I mentioned before. That's the post which is getting heaps and heaps of clicks. It's a funny looking boy, and it's interesting actually that I'm getting quite a few comments. There's one couple of people think, oh, that looks exactly like my son. So there's a bit of a conversation going on in the post saying, oh yeah, all their friends are saying, oh yeah, that looks like so-and-so. It's quite interesting. So one thing I didn't mention, to have a good post, the image, I spend quite a bit of time on getting image right, and I use Canva. So make that note. Canva is an online graphics program where you can create these post images, and Facebook allows you to put up to 20% of text. So I push the limit every single time on how much text I can have on the image. So that's a must. That's a really important tip for you guys. Because most people, they only look at the image, and if you're lucky, they'll read this and then they'll click on it. But I still go the effort of, putting some thought into the top text and the bottom text. So you want to set yourself up for success. So you want the language that you use in the post needs to relate to the opt-in page. So the reason why I'm getting really good conversions on this is because there's a relationship between this and the opt-in page, whereby the language I'm using is loophole. People want to find out about a loophole. So the copy and grabber and headline that you use is extremely important for the success of your opt-in page. So I'm promising, so the opt-in page is about a promise and a teaser. I'm promising to solve your problem. All you have to do is download this free report. And this free report, a great process is actually just do a brain dump of how you solve a problem. Or it could even be, if you could even get someone to interview you, and you talk and you record it and you get it transcribed. That's a really good tip to quickly getting a free report down. And then I've got a guy in Romania. I send it through to get it all looking pretty. He does all the images, the 3D rendered images that you just see here. For a couple of $100, you can get everything done. And if you want that contact, I'm certainly willing to help you with that. So really cost-effective way to get an amazing looking free report, which looks very professional. And they download that. And look, I wouldn't put too much effort into getting it perfect. The free report does not have to be perfect. It just has to look like you really wanted to give them value. Because the most important thing is they flick through that free report, they connect you with being helpful, and then when you run further campaigns and send them emails, they go, this guy's really trying to help me out. Maybe I'll reach out to them. And there's a whole tactic around the email responders, which I can't cover today, but another time I will. Once they've opted in, you want to take them, because they're really hot right now. You just help them, you've given them something of value. That's where you can ask for a phone number. And that's where you can also use a video to try and sell them something for $1 or even $47. That's usually the next step. And that's a really effective strategy, which I see so many people do really well. So that's one thing to consider, is this is one of the most important pages you have. It's the thank you page, or some people call it the sales page. This is the opt-in page, and some people say this is a sales page. But people who don't opt in here, so you might get, if you're doing well, out of every 10 or 20 people, you get one phone number. That phone number is gold. So that's where you can get them on the phone and really talk to them and connect with them and find out how you can solve their problem. And that's where you make the money. The people that are not captured here, I go straight in, and over time, you meet them where they're at over, I'd start off at a minimum 7 email sequence, which is spread out over a series of probably 4 or 5 weeks to see, all right, I've got to obviously give this person more value over time. Let's see if I can actually convert them and get them to respond to an email, or give me a call, or give me their phone number. So that's what this whole strategy around here. So as we're going, guys, just type in any questions, because we're coming up to the question phase, and I'll see if I can have 10 minutes at least of answering the questions that you put in there. So here's an example of a campaign that I ran to desktop. So there's 2 types of campaigns essentially that you can run. One's to mobile, which can be very effective, but high click-through rates and can be low conversion. If you get it wrong, you can blow a lot of money very quickly on mobile. This is one where I've actually pushed it to desktop to do some experiments. So basically, as you can see, it's a funny image which grabs people's attention. I've got as much text as I can with a promise or a question to grab their attention again. And I'm telling them to click through, because you can save a hell of a lot of money. So this goes to a landing page. I started out, this is the first version of this campaign, whereby I thought that if I structured it this way and gave them a bit of an insight of what is actually in the report, it's actually ended up being quite expensive. And I thought, look, I want to get it, my aim is to get it below $10, right? For most campaigns, as much as I can. But the stats on this, I was paying $20 per conversion, right? Per email. So through an optimization process, which I'll briefly cover soon, I got it down to $11 per conversion, which is a huge difference. And I did this through going through to mobile as well. So as you can see, a totally different mobile campaign, different language. It has to be much shorter. Has to grab your attention, much quicker. So again, I've got part of the formula is ask a question. Yeah, people are more likely to take notice of a question, and use different grabbing sentences, like "this will shock you," click for more info, and of course I've got a much simpler landing page which I tested on mobile as well. Different way, different headline, as you can see. Learn about the biggest money saving bargain there is. So I'm promising them that if they download this report, they're going to get something of value, and it's an awesome report as well. So if we look at the numbers, so how these campaigns are running, this is where you want to get to. All right. So we can get, if you optimize your campaign, you'd be getting about 30 to 50 opt-ins per day. Depends on your budget, of course. So I was running at $200 a day budget, and I was getting these results. So average cost per conversion is around $12 or $11, depends. Now I've been trying new things. I've got it under $10 now. So what makes the figures stack up is that if you do the numbers, you've got this amount of leads coming in, which leads to X amount of sales per 100 leads. So for this person, you got 3 sales, $1,000. You spent far less than that on getting those 100 leads. Yeah, so about $1,200. So that's sort of where you want to be at. That's where you can scale, and that's what I encourage everyone to be at. Know your numbers. If you're making $500 on a product, you know that you have to do certain things to make sure that you got that return on investment. And if you know your limits, you know that if a campaign's not performing, you cut it, and then you optimize. You change the landing page. You change the post. You change the audience. So you got all these levers to pull to get the results, and make sure you're not bleeding your money or spending more than you have to. So that's why I have this certain process. So another level above is what I train people on this 3x3x3. So once you've got your first campaign running and you're pretty comfortable and you know sort of the lie of the land, you're getting some results, I've got a process of guiding you in getting that cost down, because that's really where you want to be. And this is what it is. So once you've got some momentum, you'd be doing at least 3 different posts or ads for a certain campaign, which can include different images, different copy, and so forth. And just do some experiments and find out which one works. But once you find one that works, you can actually tune it a little bit more. But basically, you get high click-through rate, and a good click-through rate I like to aim for is around between 1% and 2%. That's actually regarded as a very high click-through rate, but that's what I target. Some people say that if you're getting over 0.5% click-through rate on your ads, then you're doing pretty well. So once you've got a good click-through rate and it's looking pretty healthy, you know that you need an opt-in page which also performs. So like the example I gave you before, sometimes the simplest opt-in page can get the best results. So as you can see, you can line up different opt-in pages, and you can, through lead pages, it is possible to run multiple at the same time, and it'll tell you which is the highest performing. So that's called split testing. And that's something I encourage people to do as well when they get a little bit more advanced. But that's answering telling you how to run a successful campaign, to have an optimized campaign which isn't costing you the earth and getting you heaps of leads. That's really important. And then once you're pretty comfortable here, then you try some different landing thank you pages to give you the best chance of getting that sale or getting that phone number. And after that, you've got the autoresponder. Okay, so the catchment, whereby anyone that doesn't convert straight away, give yourself the best chance to convert them over time. So just to do a bit of a recap, we've got to finish up pretty soon. So yeah, look, it can be very highly targeted, highly effective lead source. If you go through that process of what just outlined, if you then do the optimization process, and with some guidance, I'm actually offering to help you guys, and I'm offering some help, because that's really what can really accelerate your journey towards an optimized campaign, which is really getting results. So what really I'd love people to be at is this positive expectancy model. and to scale rapidly. So it's really a worthwhile journey to be at, and there's almost no other lead source out there that gets this level of performance. So I'm offering to everyone on this call that, you know, if you want to have a quick chat to me and just to discover, you know, where you're at now, what the next step would be for you, I'm happy to you know, give you any tips I can give on a 20-minute call. So all you have to do is send me a text or just send me an email, message me on Meetup, whichever. Really open to help you guys. And of course, come up. You know, there's new Meetup events coming up. So there's one next Wednesday on the 12th of November at the NAB Village. So I've got the starting time at 5:30, but that first half hour is just to get to know you guys and just listen and find out, you know, what you want to achieve. And, you know, I'm going through, you know, tools, tips, it's quite a few different tools that I use to pull this all together. So I want to show you everything I do. And lastly, I do have a Facebook lead gen course. I've got applications open now. It's starting, well, people who sign up now will actually get a lot more attention. So I work with you one-on-one to build your magnet, to do your unique value proposition. And then we have a 3-day intensive workshop, hands-on, whereby we're working together to build that campaign. The best learning is doing, and with people who have already done it. So I'm very hands-on. I really want to support, and this is what I feel it takes for something like Facebook to you know, put all this together. So if you want to talk to me, I'm happy to see if this is something that is suitable for you. And yeah, I've got 2 weeks afterwards, that 3-day intensive of coaching and support, because it probably takes a few weeks to really get your head around some of this. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now questions. I'll see if I can go to. I'll switch over. Hello. All right, I'm going to switch over to here. All right, so I'll just go to Meetup. So I'll see if there's any questions. Make sure I cover off any questions that people have. So if you've got a question, yeah, put it in here. But I think I've covered quite a few of the questions that have been here. So best time, the peak times to actually kick off your campaigns, definitely the weekends, and definitely, you know, Wednesday night. So night times is when you're really getting the most activity. I'll see if I can show you something that's of a campaign. So the timeline of a campaign that I've been running. All right, I'm going to switch over. I think you'll find this interesting. There we go. So if you look at this closely, this is an example of a campaign which I ran, and it's actually pretty successful. You can see the timeline here as you're going. As you're going up over the weekend, it dips and it goes up again and down. And this is when I turned it off here and I relaunched it. But just to bring everything together, I think this is quite useful. When I talk about conversions, so I've got Facebook tells me how many people have converted, and it tells me the cost per conversion, right? So this is a specific type of campaign. That's the click-through rate. So out of 16,420, 217 people clicked on my campaign and went to the landing page, and that's the average price per click. So that's pretty high. On mobile, it's around $1. This is a desktop campaign, so it's a bit higher. So hopefully this is really helpful for you because it can bring it all together. So if you've got any questions about this, I'm going to show heaps more next Wednesday and in other meetups that we have. But even if you want to, just got some questions just in that call, if you want to give me a call, I can certainly show you heaps more. So I thought that might be useful. Right. So, all right, I think we'll wrap it up now. I think it's have you guys got any other questions? Just type in any questions that you might have, and I'll certainly do my best to answer them. You just in this sidebar, I'm not sure how it all works with Google+, but please send me an email as well. I'll just go back to my presentation with my details. Where's my presentation? Here we go. Brilliant. Yeah, so these are my details here. So yeah, just you're welcome to contact me, and give you some free advice, some tips, and hope you really found this useful. Good stuff. Okay, well, I think I don't see any questions coming through. Yep. All right. Just seeing if there's any other questions. I'll just go to, Good stuff. All right, well, I'll wrap it up there. And thank you so much to everyone for attending the webinar. Just reach out to me if you want to know some more, or hopefully I'll see you at some meetup events. Thank you very much.